Hello everybody, it's Ross and I'm here in downtown Atlanta. There's the world of Coca-Cola. Up the road is my loft, down the road is another place. Downtown Atlanta is the place to be. It's a lot going on for sure. And I was thinking as I was trying to get my exercise in before the nighttime fell, how hot and oppressive the heat is. I mean, just a month ago, we had a cold front and it was cold. I remember going back inside after I came outside to run and it was too cold because the wind chill factor was, I don't know, below 50, and it was cold that day. But today, in June, it's hot and oppressive. There's no wind. It's probably got up to 95 degrees today, and it's just the air's not moving. If you have respiratory problems, they advise a person not to even come outside. That's where it is today. It's hot, oppressive, humid, all the rest. But in thinking that, you know, how uncomfortable it is, I thought about how life is that way many of the times. You may have gotten a hold of this video and said, well, my life is not very comfortable right now, and certainly I can relate, and many of your friends and relatives can relate. You know, I talked to a pastor in Tuscaloosa, Alabama today about his situation. The tornado had come through the city in Alabama. It tore most of his church off. The roof just tore off. And his congregation is being taken care of, and people are starting to reach out to him. But he's having a difficult challenge. And I think about how today is uncomfortable, but how so many other people are so much worse off than maybe you and I. And how we should, through our troubles and circumstances of life, should reach out to those who are more desperately in need of different things in life. We all have our needs, don't we? And so as I talked to the pastor, I started to get encouraged. Even though I have some issues in my own life, I started to see how God wanted me to see his heart and where he is and what I might do to help him out. And he was a very humble man. I found out in the conversation on the phone that his wife had this terrible form of cancer. And so she was going through difficult challenges with this treatment, and her bones were starting to break because of the cancer. I mean, it's just a terrible situation. And so what I wanted to do the most of all is just comfort him in his time of need with his church, his congregation, of course, his wife. And I was thinking about Psalm 13 and how it affected me and how it may affect you in your life too, when the psalmist starts out from the very beginning and he says, "How long, O Lord, how long? How long will you forget me? Will you forget me forever?" He asks God that. He's going through a difficult time in his life. How long will you forget me? Forever? He in his heart, he didn't think that God was going to remember him, or God had forgotten him because he was experiencing troubles. You may be going through lots of troubles in your life, but rest assured, like the psalmist said, that God, through those troubles, never, ever, ever, never forgets his children, even though sometimes you may think he is. In the second verse, he goes on to say, "How long will you hide your face from me?" That's a pretty desperate situation. The psalmist is going through lots of troubles in that verse. He was going through some difficult times for sure, just like me and you do. But he was asking God the question, and he was being real with God and sharing his heart with God. And he showed God and was telling God how he felt. Certainly we've gone through circumstances and situations in your life where you think that God has forgotten you, and he may have just been silent for just a little time in your life. But rest assured and be encouraged that, as Psalm 13 says, God has not hidden his face from you, even though you may feel like it, even though you're going through circumstances. The Lord will still, through times of trouble, later in that verse, revive you, and he is ultimately, in times of trouble and need in your life, as bad as they may be, he will be glorified in it, and he'll be exalted. Sometimes we just can't see the end of trouble. I've had my issues, and certainly you may have had your issues and still going through those issues, but rest assured that God will never leave you, nor will he forsake you. And if you're going through bad times in your life for just the season, always try to find somebody else that you can minister to and reach out to. You'll be glad you did. It will do your heart good, and most importantly, it will honor God as well. So hopefully this message will find you somewhere, and it will find you somewhere where you can be encouraged no matter what your circumstances are. Read Psalm 13. You'll be glad you did. Until next time, hope to see you down the road somewhere, and look up my Facebook pages for more encouraging devotions and healthy hints and helpful hints on how you can eat better, and nutrition is always a good thing. So talk to you soon. Take care.